Okay.
Okay, so I'll call the meeting to order, North Hero Planning Commission on April 28th, 2026. Any adjustments to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on. Approval of the minutes of the March 24th meeting.
I move to accept.
I second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Yep.
Okay, minutes are approved. Visitors, public comment. We don't really have any visitors other than Luke. So, at this point, Luke, it's all yours.
So this month I have a data updates presentation that I put together just to give some context for the town plan update. And then I also met with Pat and Jeff to start planning our public outreach. And so I can share the timeline for that for you all as well.
Okay.
So
And by the way, Pat and Jeff, I appreciate your taking the time to work with Luke on this. And
Yeah, happy to do it.
thank the planning commission for approving those two people to lead the charge here.
sorry, I just gotta get on the Zoom meeting here. Should have done this before. Where would I find the Zoom link on the website? I'm on the planning commission.
If you go right at the main page.
Okay,
And then go to agendas.
/agendas. It's the first one on the left if you scroll down a little
okay,
bit.
great.
And then find the planning commission.
Yep, okay.
Open the agenda and there'll be a link.
Right, April 28th.
Sorry, I should have sent you the agenda.
No, all good. Okay, I'm on it.
Going pretty well off at the fire station, huh?
Yeah, starting to look like a real job now. You've been by there. Last
It's
couple
not
days.
there though. I think it's North Hero 1, 2, 3 and the
Yeah.
N and the H are capitalized.
Okay.
All right, I see you, Luke.
Great.
All right, now let me see. This is a new thing, so let me just see how I can make you, easy.
I think I can just press, okay.
I just made you the co-host.
Oh, great. All right, so
Hey, Laura, you're officially done. Sorry.
Had a guy come by my boat, so I had to wait for him.
all right, there you go. So yeah, this is a data updates presentation, basically just looking at the data that's in the existing plan and updating all of that to give context for the plan update we're about to do. And then also when we do public outreach and we have a workshop, we can have sort of an abridged version of this presentation too, to sort of talk about the trends that are happening in the town based on the data and you know, how the town is addressing those. So this is an outline of the things that are covered. There's some general demographic, population, and age data. There's also data on households and housing. So looking at the characteristics of households and the housing market and affordability. And then some economic data on education, employment, and commuting. All right, so this is the population trend of North Hero since 1790, so it goes a pretty long way back. So you can see like throughout the late 1800s, early 1900s, it was around 700 and a decline in the early 20th century. And then starting around the 70s and 80s, rising again to the point where it is today, which is North Hero's highest population ever of 939 full-time residents. So this only counts full-time and not seasonal. And there's a large seasonal
Yeah, you
percentage.
can pretty much triple that for
Yeah.
the summer.
Does anyone know where they lived back in 1830? Because where are those houses?
There's a lot of old houses.
How old's yours? No, mid-50s.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have a, I should know the answer, well, sort of, do we have a population for seasonal residents?
Yeah, there's some data on the ACS gives you data on households or housing units that are occupied seasonally. So
Okay, so we, yeah, okay.
that at least gives you households, not necessarily like population.
Yeah, it
Right.
doesn't tell you how many people are
Because it
in
could
each
be
household.
multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be multiple.
Right. Yeah,
Exactly.
okay.
So, yeah, and 17% increase since 2010. So since the last census, you can see that little uptick there.
Yeah.
So that's it's pretty significant. So this is North Hero's population increase compared to surrounding towns in the last decade. So you can see it's had some of the greatest population growth in the region by percentage, along with St. Albans Town and Fairfax. And you can see other towns have smaller increases or even slight decreases within that time.
This sort of surprised me, and I'm wondering, does anyone know where those 17% are living? I mean, we've had a little construction, but we haven't had that much.
Well, it's still not a lot of people.
Well, that's since 2010 too.
Yeah, since 2010, yeah, so.
That's a long time.
Yeah, so it's
So
about
that just reminds me
58.
that we were more than
It's
this
58
round.
people,
Yeah,
What's that?
58 people, so
That's,
Yeah, that makes
could be divided by three,
it's from 2010, yeah.
20 houses.
But aren't you surprised that Grand Isle is flat and Isle
And South Hero too.
It's, yeah, South
mean,
Hero
that's
only
very
3%,
surprised,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, it could also be like seasonal housing units converting to full-time
yeah,
residents. Wouldn't necessarily have to be new houses.
Right.
Which we've had.
Or camps.
yeah.
Conversion.
Yeah, we have.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So looking at age groups, so on the bottom left, this is the median age in the past 20 years, according to the census of North Hero, Grand Isle County, and Vermont as a whole. So you can see it's increased across the board statewide. And North Hero started a little bit higher, and they're still a little bit higher too than both the county and Vermont, but they're all increasing basically from 43 to over 53. So yeah, about a 10-year median age increase in the last 20 years. And if you look at sort of the composition of each age group, how that's changed in North Hero, you can see under 18 went down slightly, 35 to 64 went down slightly, and over 65 went up pretty significantly. So that sort of shows the components of that change.
you're just gonna mention, I just saw an article in Vermont Digger about school-age children and how that's, I thought we might be unique in that, in
Yeah.
terms of the decline, but it's the whole state.
Mhm.
I mean, in a pretty, many places, in a pretty significant fashion.
Yeah.
I was playing with these data today because I was hoping to get more detail, more over time and more age brackets. And so I was playing with the ACS data and I just found it to be so volatile
Yeah, well,
that it was, I think, useless. Did you find the same thing or?
yeah, definitely with ACS. That's why I stuck to the census,
Ah.
the
That's what I
decennial
figured.
census here for this, because even though it's only 10 years, it's an actual count rather than an estimate. So for small communities like North Hero, the ACS just has such a high margin of error that you really have to be careful when using that data source. So yeah, I've tried to use census where it's available
Right.
from the census.
This is good, this new.
Yeah, so this is looking more detailed at, 10-year age groups and how those have changed 2000, 2010, and 2020. So you can see like the 40 to 49 group was biggest in 2000, and then that sort of that same group every 10 years has sort of moved higher and higher, and now it's the 60 to 69 group. And you can see that there hasn't necessarily been a whole lot growing at the bottom portion to offset that.
Yeah, so there's a bulge in the middle-aged people, but the kids, there's no bulge with the kids.
Yeah, and like you can see this 10 to 19 and 2000 hasn't necessarily moved up in the last 20 years. You can see maybe that's people who grew up and moved out of
They
the
left.
community. Yeah. Yeah. Oops. Okay, so yeah, that's it for the sort of general age and population. So households and housing, this is looking at household composition. Again, this is just full-time residents, and this is American Community Survey. It's not census, so there is a higher margin of error. But generally, this is what it shows. There's been a growth in households over the past 20 years, basically. And these are the different household types. And so you can see the amount of households with children has gone down. The amount without children has grown. A lot of the new households have been, couples without children or single person households.
I'll add one other comment from the Vermont article, 7 days, that Vermont has the lowest birth rate in the country
Really?
per capita, lowest birth rate.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it's kind of hard to see where new kids are going to, unless they're immigrants or something, or, inflowing from other states.
Yeah, an average household size in 2024 was just under 2.5. So looking at the housing stock, so this is the seasonal and year-round housing stock and how it's sort of fluctuated. So you can see like over half of housing units are seasonal according to the census data and American Community Survey data. And as it's fluctuated, that's sort of been consistent, having a large portion of seasonal housing. And then looking at the current housing in town based on when it was built, you can see sort of a large amount of it was sort of in the middle of the 20th century, 60s through 2000s. And so this is interesting. So the census has housing occupancy data, which is based on surveying people. And then there's also the E911 housing units by type. So E911 categorizes housing units as camps based on the physical characteristics of the structure. So if it's not suitable for year-round use, it's a camp. But the census gives us data on, houses that are counted as single-family dwellings that could be occupied year-round, but are seasonally occupied. So you can see that 32% of housing units are camps in North Hero, but 51% are seasonally occupied. So there's a large number of housing units that are suitable for year-round use, but are not occupied year-round.
Luke, can I ask a question about the seasonal? What's the criteria for determining whether or not somebody's seasonal or not?
So in the census, I think it's based on how many days they live there. So if they're not there for at least half of the year, the housing unit's counted as vacant. And then in the vacancy details, seasonally occupied is one of the categories of vacant, basically.
Okay.
So seasonal means that you're only occupying at halftime. Am I correct?
Yeah, or less.
Or less?
Yes.
Or less.
I was just going to say, struck by how low the rental is.
Mhm.
So it doesn't
Yeah.
have,
Huh.
so
Is
it
that
doesn't
renter?
have to do with resident?
Is that occupied? Amy?
What's that?
Is that full-time
Yeah, so
So
that'd be
it,
year-round
rental?
resident who,
Okay.
yeah, and you can see a large portion of housing units are single family. There's 6% mobile homes, multifamilies 1%, and then yeah, other is 2%.
So a home that's rented but seasonally would be seasonally occupied.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just this 2% is just year-round residents who rent, which is
Okay.
yeah.
It's interesting to me because from an affordability aspect, if people need a place to live, I'm guessing that the renter place would be the most affordable.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
We just didn't much of it.
Yeah, no, having only 2% like renter occupied housing units means that,
Which may be the issue.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, on this next slide.
You know what?
yeah.
That would be a really interesting thing to understand. Because I looked at some data for Chittenden County and I didn't see anything maybe except for Charlotte
Mhm.
that had renter occupied that low. That's really a super low number.
Mhm.
Unless what? Yeah, for full time,
Mhm.
right? Don't you think? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty, a lot of like rural places have it, 10%, like 10% or lower, but 2% is like pretty,
like not even there.
yeah.
Could be an error.
Yeah, if you look at seasonal occupation, the rental percentage would be a lot higher,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here, this is looking at home sale prices, and this is based on property tax, so it's not an estimate, it's basically like, yeah, looking at all the houses that are sold. So you can see that the median home sale price by year has increased substantially statewide and in the county, and especially in North Hero. So, like looking since 2020, it's increased from, about 300,000 to over 500,000. And so looking at housing affordability, so this is the median household income of North Hero, this bottom line. And then the top line is the income that would be needed to afford the median primary home based on this price here. So affordability is generally defined as spending 30% or less of your income on housing costs. So if you were to buy
So what are they calling a medium affordable home?
535,000.
Well, that's the
Or
median
that's-
price, that
Median,
doesn't mean,
right, but
that's not affordable.
that's not the
To a lot of
affordable.
people.
Yeah.
Right.
near.
yeah, so
So what would it be?
So yeah, based on the income, I think the median actual affordable home based on the median income would be around like 300,000 probably.
Right.
I
30%,
don't think someone
right.
making $177,000 a year could afford a $530,000
No,
home.
I don't.
Well, and never mind about a down payment.
Right.
So, yeah, Luke was saying they could afford a $300,000 house, but show me a $300,000 house in North Hero.
Well, and also, where's the down payment? I mean, I
Right,
think
yeah,
that's not a trivial.
Yeah.
I assume it's based on the standard formula. What is it, like 30% of your income goes to
Right,
Mhm.
right.
mortgage?
Yeah.
Right.
Huh.
Right.
Yeah,
So
and
there
you
was a point when we were just like everybody else, Grand Isle, North Hero and Vermont, we were all the same. Was that like
Yeah.
2012?
Yeah, around like
14 or
2010,
something,
20.
about the same.
Yeah.
And then it just really,
About COVID happened.
yeah, COVID happened and
Yeah,
it went
Houses went
crazy.
right through the roof.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they did for Vermont too, but not at the
not
same
right
rate,
here.
not as much.
Yeah, and this is also just looking at primary homes too. So like someone buying a house to use as their primary residence, it's not even looking at the second
Oh.
home. So
Oh, wow.
This is-
So that could be way off.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
the selling price could be way off.
yeah, if you factored in like second homes too, it'd probably be a lot higher.
Yeah,
but-
because second homes still, that affects the price of everything,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, and according to the ACS data, 41% of homeowners with a mortgage are cost burden, which means that they spend more than 30% of their income on housing
Right.
in North Hero.
So you wouldn't even get data for renters because there's too few of them.
Yeah, it would probably be
2%.
pretty
Ridiculous,
unreliable. Yeah,
But 40% that's a huge number.
yeah.
This is bleak.
So this is looking at the volume of home sales. So you can see that a lot of homes were bought and sold around 2020 to 2022. That was primary and secondary homes. And that huge spike has sort of leveled off since then to about the level where it was before.
Is that proportion constant? Like, it looks to me like it's about half and half.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it looks like it's been about the same.
Right. So we could get actual home sales data. Would Corinne have that? I mean, would we have it in, here in the town hall, you think?
Like
The town
for,
clerk?
like,
That would include the second home. So you
Yeah,
get,
I
you could
can-
get a,
yeah, I can get that from the same data source.
from the.
Yeah, from
housing.
the Department
Housing.
of Taxes, yeah,
Of
from
taxes,
housingdata.org. Well, yeah, that comes. It's going through all my slides again.
I think you said with the rental affordability, there's not enough data, or do we have a median rental price or?
I think there is a median rent, like from the ACS. It's just a question of whether that's reliable since the sample
It's like
size
two
is so
people.
small, yeah. But yeah, I could see what that is.
I'm just curious how much income you would need to rent here,
Mhm.
whether that's valid data or not, I don't know.
Mhm.
No.
Well, and they'll give you affordability number on that too. They'll tell you,
Depends on where the house is, depends on how many bedrooms it is.
Yeah.
That's what it depends on.
yeah,
Not if you can afford it or not, it's.
yeah, and how many incomes are
Yeah.
paying for it.
Do any of us know people that are renting year round here in North Carolina? I don't know any.
I don't either.
My neighbor was, but he was kicked out.
Gotta pay your rent.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't live in North Hero, I live in Grand Isle, but when I moved back here a few years ago, I could not find anything to rent. I had no
Yeah.
choice but to buy. There was nothing available at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's like the question of
I rent my place too cheap.
Well, there's that house
And now
over
you-
there, which I think is roughly year round, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And there's the apartment over the chamber.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's like the affordability of the rental and then there's the amount of rentals that there actually are. It could be that the ones that are here are affordable, but there's like not enough of them. If someone wanted to move here,
Right.
it's only 2% and they might already be occupied.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at is if it's determined that we need to find a place for people to live who want to work here,
Mhm.
especially lower income people, like the people who work at the farms or the servers or,
Well, most of your farmers give them a place to live.
Yeah.
right, but it's just what do we need, in other words?
Mhm.
I don't think we need McMansions for those people. We need something.
Well, the hard part is you ain't gonna find no land here in North Hero for that.
Right.
We've been there. We've
Yeah,
been
we talked about that.
eight. I've been through, this is my third session. We've been knocking this around for,
Well, this is a national problem, but obviously you need a place for the working class to live. I mean, it's
I
not
understand
optional.
Yeah.
but
And I think more and more businesses, including, I think, was it Walter that had a place down there for his workers to live? Was-
they lived in the barn out back,
Oh, they
Yeah.
did.
You know,
in the shed.
our neighbor owns a excavating firm in Stowe, and he's had to buy because Stowe is so
Yeah.
incredibly expensive. He's had to buy housing. He's buying housing in Morrisville
Yeah.
and the surrounding area to house his workers because he needs for them to have a place
Yeah,
to
I think
live
that's
that's not so
happening
far
more and
away.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've been through it.
Yeah.
Almost, I would say 70% of the open lands all developed, it's been sold on.
Okay.
In North Europe,
Okay.
roughly. And we have that paperwork. Don't we?
We might have lost that with Mike.
My cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. God bless him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's,
I don't know what he did with it. I don't know if we ever got it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do you know, so you know Dorothy at all?
His wife.
That's my, I don't, George would know her, because they're neighbors.
Yeah, it might be worth asking if she still has that map.
Oh, we can't find.
Well,
We don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, I could just move over here.
You want me to
Did a
move?
really nice job.
What?
That's okay.
No, here.
Share around over here. All right, so moving to the economy section. Looking at economic data, so pretty similar to the county and the state, all roughly in the same range there.
Mhm.
And so this is employment. So looking at the occupations of North Carolina residents, you can see largest sector is educational, healthcare, and social assistance. It's about a third of the residents. And then some other big sectors here, construction, retail, this sort of big category of arts, entertainment, recreation, and food service and accommodation. And then, this one too is pretty big. And the median household income was 102,000 in 2024. Poverty level is pretty similar to the county and the state. And there are, according to the Department of Labor, 52 businesses located in North Carolina with 179 employees.
It's kind of a mystery.
That's weird.
So am I-
It must be home based, you know
Am
what I
I
mean?
correct that
Yeah.
this is ACS, so this is asking people who live here where, what they do for a living, regardless of whether they work on the island or not?
Yeah.
In the last plan, we had some data from the Labor Department, which I think was employment by industry in North Hero.
Yeah, I think we could get that too.
I'm not sure if, I mean, do we care about commuting? I mean, if people have good jobs,
Mhm.
and they commute to wherever, St. Albans, do we care? Or do we want to know what the breakout is for the people, for the jobs on the island versus the,
That should be part of this data.
Yeah.
That should be pretty easy to get, you know, how many
Yeah.
people work in North Hero as opposed to commute.
Right.
Yeah, and that's on this next.
Yeah.
Some of that is here.
Yeah.
So this has the locations where people are going who live here. So a lot going to Chittenden County, Colchester, Burlington. 41% going to Chittenden County, 23% to Franklin County, 19% to Grand Isle. And so there are 26 residents who live and work in North Hero, and then 170 workers who commute into North Hero from other places, and then 402 residents who commute out of North Hero and work other places.
I'm surprised there were only 26 people like me. I thought that was more common. I don't know.
Yeah.
Figure out where 170
I am
workers
too.
are.
I was-
Well,
That's the one
there's
at Mouth.
North Hero House and,
Yeah, but
Shore Acres and, well,
170 workers, yeah.
yeah,
That's a lot of workers.
It is.
yeah,
But-
the marinas.
So, yeah, I could,
Yeah, true.
but is that
So I-
part-time? Is that full-time?
I was wondering about people that are working remotely, because I assumed that there were a fair number of people working remotely in the islands, but the numbers aren't looking that way.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to get, there's still not great data on remote working. And that could be captured in this data too. It might not necessarily be that they're commuting all the time. They could be working remotely some of the time from North Hero and their workplaces elsewhere. But yeah, I mean, like anecdotally, remote working is a way bigger opportunity now in places like North Hero, but it's tough with the actual data to see the number of how many people are doing that, just the way it's reported.
I was thinking about the 52 businesses in North Hero.
Mhm.
with 179 employees,
Yep.
according to the Vermont Department. Could they tell us like who they are? Like, I mean, I haven't lived here as long as everybody else, but how are there 52 businesses?
Probably a lot of one person work from home.
But they probably count the town too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Oh, right.
I think the Labor Department data that I was asking about would have that.
Would have
I mean,
that.
that's what it
Yeah, it
is.
wouldn't necessarily have the names of the businesses, but you could at least see like by sector, like.
Yeah, right, like what were they, what are they in?
Yeah.
Right. And it could be answering some of Jan's question about remote work, because that could be, well, I don't know. Maybe it's a branch office, I don't know.
I always kind of figured that remote work really works well for people who work remotely. And it's also perhaps some of our younger people, age-wise. Personally, I know an awful lot of people that are in their mid-30s to 50 who pretty much entirely work remotely out of their homes. So, and the islands, because we're not very easy, our commuting's not, it's delightful commuting, but it's long. It seems like it'd be a group of people that I thought would be interested in living in the islands. But I don't know.
Well, it's not just saving the commute. When I said people like me, my background is I've been self-employed, working out of my house for decades. And sometimes, often, living and working thousands of miles apart. Like right now, it's mostly for New York, so it's not the commute. It's just the new world where you can work wherever you want. Yeah.
Mhm.
So how do you think you're classified here? That living and working in North
Yeah,
Hero
I'm
or?
one of the
you work-
26,
Yeah,
but
I'm one of the 170.
Yeah.
What commute into?
No, you're one of the,
Or-
you're one of the
sorry.
102 that commute out. Yeah.
I do a little in town.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But mostly out of town.
Yeah.
wow.
I don't know if this is interesting or not, but today I was playing with migration data from the IRS
Yeah.
just to see where people were moving from and where they were moving to.
Mhm.
And it's roughly the same list. And I think roughly half were Chittenden and Franklin counties.
Like people moving from those.
Both to and
counties.
from.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Huh.
I think it might have been county data, but yeah. And no one to the Midwest.
Yeah.
So it's mostly people moving from places close by rather than like
Yeah.
out of state.
I've been watching the price of land, South Carolina, North Carolina. They're starting to rise
Are they?
Yeah,
because there's a
not
lot of people
surprised.
leaving here
Yeah.
up this way because of the tax base and all that way. When you're paying $500 a year in house taxes
Well,
versus,
but it broke it out by region and there were some moved to the south, but fewer than I thought.
So that was the end of the presentation, and also my computer just died, so. Actually plugging
Good
in,
timing.
but Yeah, good timing. So, yeah, I hope that was helpful, and yeah, thanks for your feedback. I can add those extra data points once we do the presentation for the public outreach and once we go into the plan and start adding data to the plan, so. Yeah, anything else on that before we move into the outreach plan?
Well, yeah, are we going to have access to that the show you just did, the slideshow?
Yeah, I can send that around.
Yeah, that'd be
to
good.
anyone else, and
Yeah,
so
I would
Andy
like
and
it
we can
if-
forward to them.
Yeah.
There was a lot of information there to look at.
What's that?
Same
No, it
as-
isn't.
Yeah,
Jeff?
yeah, it should be the same.
First houses or?
No.
You need to send it, because I'm plugged in, you can, you need your.
building a new big house down past you.
Oh, there you go.
First thing in that. Yeah. Oh, talking about Jared Kais?
Oh, no,
Yeah. Oh, he's, you see what he's doing there?
no, I haven't been down that place. I did some work in house ripped down for his mother.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, bunch of time on the phone with him the other day. Thank you very much. Just
Pat, who was leaving?
Yeah, I'll show this up on here, so people online can see.
Hmm. First problem I see with this is the town does not have a Facebook page. We would have to rely on Front Porch Forum, I think,
That or mail.
and mail and.
Worked in the past. I'll look for him and throw it out in the mail.
Yeah.
All good.
All right.
June 7th is a Sunday, that's when we're doing it.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
that's what I mean, we can always change it, but
Did
I
you
reserved,
confirm that the space?
I have reserved this.
I mean, it would be better on a weekend if,
Yeah, everything that I've looked at before,
yeah.
Sunday afternoons are when people are free. I reserved it from, sorry.
Yeah, so I met with Pat and Jeff, and we sort of talked about the outreach plan and fleshed it out a little bit. I mean, that would be good to come back and share with you all since
Yeah.
that's gonna be coming up pretty soon. So we're thinking first we'll start, the general idea is to start with a public meeting and get the word out and invite as many people to that as possible. Have a discussion at that meeting, and then based on that discussion, develop a survey, and then also have smaller focus groups to have more focused discussions on some of the issues that come up. And then from the survey and the focus groups, sort of compile that into a public outreach report that we will use as the basis for the town plan update and sort of the key priorities and feedback from people. So this timeline, this has NIPC's role and the planning commission role and how we're gonna work together to do this. And yeah, Pat tentatively booked June 7th as a public meeting date, but I guess now would be a good time to discuss if that works for people.
What I booked was 2 to 4, and I guess we don't get charged. So we're the town.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think that's my happy thought.
Yeah,
And we'll work with them to set up, chairs and whatnot, stuff like that. Do we have, I just was wondering, as a draw, sometimes it's nice to have a little something extra. Do we have any funds for this sort of stuff?
well,
I
we
mean,
have
not his,
funding.
not money from his budget, but do we have, like-
Well, doesn't your budget contemplate?
Yeah, I
that
think
kind
in
of
our budget,
expense?
we have, a budget for a mailing to get the word out, and then
Yeah.
also a budget for like food and stuff.
Yeah,
oh, you do, because what I was thinking was maybe, well, we could discuss it.
yeah, just some
Ice
finger
cream or
food
some,
yeah,
something that makes it sound a little interesting to come.
Couple cakes of beer, maybe.
We could invite Kramer Ken over.
Yeah,
It might not be, I mean, they're a local business.
they are, yeah.
I don't know, but anyway.
Yeah,
I just was,
but
I
I think
didn't know
that's
how,
a-
if you had any, money for that. But do we have any money outside of Luke's money or not really?
Well, we have to commit 10%.
So,
So it's roughly $2,000.
right, so it's $2,000 that we can spend or that we
Well,
give
we
to
have
Luke?
to spend as part, we have to spend 10% of the total.
Okay, but, okay.
So,
Just
but and I don't know if you can answer this, Luke. I understand there's a way that we can get some of those funds, grant funds ahead of time before we spend them. Is that true, or maybe you, that's not a question for you, but I think, either Lisa or Corinne mentioned that at one point, that,
Yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah.
how, I know that we send you like like the grant goes to the
yeah,
town and then.
I'll follow up on that.
Portion.
Because it'd be nice if we could get some money ahead of
So the
time, so
grant goes to the town. And then.
the grant goes to the,
and
that's
town
exact,
Funds. to
and then
them
we
guys.
pay NRPC, and we need to cover 10%
Right.
of the total, yeah. Okay,
So that'd be at least a grant.
yeah,
Yeah, but like NRPC could be responsible for like, if there was stuff we wanted to have at the meeting, we could buy that and then it would be in your invoice slip.
Yeah, sure.
For the
yeah,
whole
okay,
project.
yeah, yep, that's fine.
Yeah, so I guess looking ahead, if June 7th is the date that we're going with, then
How does everybody feel? I mean, I'm fine with it, I can
Yeah,
see
I
where it
think-
makes sense. to Do it on a Sunday afternoon,
Yeah, I'm just to be candid, we kind of, I have to get we have to do the survey thing
yeah,
before, I have to be done with that before the 1st of November. That's why I'm like
Yeah.
pushing,
yeah.
because that's when my license
Well-
is,
No, I think the time frame is right.
It's
That's when
okay.
we have to do it. Now,
Yeah.
whether the June
Yeah, it
7th
looks
or
like-
the 6th
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, it
is
looks
the
like there are
best
other
date,
Sundays possibly, but
Well,
I was just
let's
thinking,
just put it at the
keep it
7th.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. You're
anybody
okay with
jump
that?
up and,
yeah, just a question about the June
George.
7th. I think that's a fine date, but, so we want to capture at this public meeting, both, the full-time residents and a good chunk of the seasonal residents. And, especially, and so I'm not saying June 7th I mean, most of the seasonal people come in early summer. So, I think, I would recommend that we stay in June, but maybe go the 14th or the 21st. I know a little deeper into June, just because I know a lot of people that don't get back until late May, early June. And
Well, I
if we
think-
want to capture that population, and I think we do. I think we do.
well, I think most people are here by Memorial Day.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I don't.
Half my neighbors are seasonal, and they're definitely all
They're yeah.
here by Memorial Day, but.
How
There-
many
there
of
is
these
the
are we
option
thinking?
to- Pardon?
How many what?
How many of these are we thinking of? How many of these outreach sessions like June 7th are we thinking we would do? Just one or several through the summer?
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're thinking about one big meeting, and then we're hoping to hold, and we could round up some of the seasonal people there to do some focus groups after we learn a lot of the issues that are on people's minds on the big meeting. Then we want to get a little bit deeper in small focus groups of, like 8 to 10 people, do, 3 or 4 of those. So there would be an opportunity for, we don't want it just to be seasonal people, but it could, they certainly
want a
could be
mix.
included. Yeah, it would be a mix.
And how would we assign people to the focus groups?
We would invite people. And invite people and see how many, and tell them we have 10 spaces. Yeah,
right.
yeah, based
All
on
depends on
that.
how
And
many
then,
people show.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
hopefully more.
So
than
at the
3 or
June
4.
7th meeting, we would say we're planning to set
Yeah.
up focus groups
Right.
and who's interested.
Sign up.
Yeah, there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then also for people
Yeah.
that weren't able to attend,
Yeah,
because
Sure.
I think.
Yeah.
Jeff, what do you think?
I was thinking more people who don't show up. I think we're gonna miss a lot of people.
Yeah,
Well, we always do.
Yeah,
yeah, not everybody can come.
It's hard to get the silent majority to.
yeah.
Right,
So, Pat, Luke,
We're gonna do our
Jeff.
best, but
When you
By
start
definition.
changing something, ready to go through, that's when they should run.
Yeah, that's.
oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
Uh,
And then I
Pat-
think we're probably thinking that at some point we have a feedback thing, right? So that won't be the only community meeting, right, do you think? Like afterward, Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think the plan is June 7th will be the one big
Right.
community meeting that we do the major push for, and then having the smaller ones after that.
Right.
And
yeah.
then once we move into drafting, I mean, that'll all be at, public planning commission
Yeah.
meeting. So
Well,
anyone
okay.
who's interested
What
could
can come?
could
Okay.
come to those, but
Okay.
yeah.
For the June 7th meeting, would we have to warn that like we would a regular public meeting?
It's not like a public hearing, so it doesn't have any like legal notice requirements. It'll just be like a workshop, basically.
Okay,
So,
so it'd be like a front
But-
page forum post.
Yeah.
yeah,
Gotcha.
But we would want, we really want as many people to attend as possible. So I think
Yeah.
we have to really kind of think
Well-
how we could reach out to folks.
We gotta be a little careful. I don't know what the capacity of this space is.
250,
How much?
250.
Yeah. We got potentially 3,000 people that, so, yeah.
If we,
No, I don't think we'll get it even
If you
close
get
to
20
250.
people.
maybe we'll say that each one of us has to bring 10. That would help, including
Yeah.
Danielle
Yeah.
and Lynn. That define them. Dogs don't.
Well, of course, people will have a Zoom option, I assume. too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Although that could be awkward, but.
yeah. Well. Putting it on my
No,
calendar right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
when do we, do you want to, are we going to, do you want to go for the June 7th? Is
I'd do that.
everybody-
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean,
That's 2 weeks after
Just sort of-
Memorial Day, so I think that makes sense. Isn't Memorial Day the end of May 20? I just looked it up. I think it's the 25th or something.
Can't do the 14th. That's Father's Day weekend.
yeah, oh, you're right.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that would
That's
not.
fishing day.
Yeah, and it's also the fishing derby. so.
No,
Yeah.
no, so we're
I
either
would
then
leave it
or
on
the
the 7th.
21st, so, yeah.
I'd leave
Let's
it,
roll.
Yeah.
Yep,
And, we will catch up with people in the focus
Yep.
groups. And if we need to do more than what we're planning right now, we'll do that to make people feel like they've been heard.
okay. You said,
It's
My
important.
calendar says Father's Day is the 21st.
Was it this year?
I thought it was always the second.
I thought it was always the same weekend as the fishing derby.
Yeah, me too.
Do one of you want to talk about the process a little more? Like, what's the scope of the public meeting? Is it to get all the ideas from everybody, all the conflicting ideas and try to make sense of them, or? And then the subsequent meetings pare it down, or?
Father's Day's the 21st.
Yeah, so I think the overall goal of the public meeting is to generate the initial list of priorities that we're gonna refine further through the survey and the focus group. So, I mean, there probably will be different perspectives of the discussion. And I think finding what people agree on to the extent that they agree to say this is like the shared vision for the town that everyone agrees on. And then just capturing whatever other nuance there is in people's perspectives, or if there's things that we need, to get more information on or ask more questions about, we can do that in the survey and in the focus groups to dig in a little bit deeper. So this is an example of some of the types of questions we could ask at the public meeting. Like, what do you like about North Hero? What could be changed to improve living here? What would you like to see in the future? What are you concerned about for the future? Just sort of those high level questions. And then people could write their responses to those questions on a poster, and people could sort of vote on them if they agree with one that's written down. And then that could be one of the ways that we generate that. And I think looking ahead for June 7th, doing the meeting on that date, over the next month, I think we will develop, the agenda of the public meeting. So the presentation that we're going to do, and also the activities that we're going to do. And I guess myself and Pat and Jeff can work on that. And at the next planning commission meeting at the end of May, we can bring that back to the full group and discuss that and get prepared for the workshop.
Would you all, about that, would you all, I know you don't want to have 2 meetings in a month, but do you think, I'm kind of feeling like I would feel better if we came to you all mid-May with an outline of what we were thinking. I haven't even asked Jeff this, so I would prefer that we get your input, because I don't want to, and I want you all to
No,
have your stamp on it.
No, I think that's a great idea. I mean, you could just send the information out to everybody.
Send an email out?
Yeah, I could. Are we allowed to do that?
You can
As long as it
send, you
doesn't
can
become a
disperse
conversation.
information,
But I'm sorry, long
As long as it doesn't become a conversation back and forth.
but I need,
but yeah, you need
I
feedback,
need,
so.
I need to hear back from them.
I think if they're responding just to you.
Yeah.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say, just
It can be
a,
a
or just a
reply.
gel.
Right,
Not a reply.
don't
all,
reply all,
individual
we're
replies.
okay.
So could we do a quick Zoom and, maybe not meet in person or?
Well, we'd have to, we could,
We'd
and
have
it
to
would
warn
be
it.
We do have to.
not a big deal, it would be a special meeting, we'd only have to give a 24-hour notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Well, whatever you all would want. I just
That's
really want to make
probably-
sure
Yeah,
that all of you are on board,
yeah, I think that's a good idea, that maybe we do a quick, just a Zoom meeting, sometime middle of May.
Warren, what about you?
What's your
Is that okay?
timeframe?
I think we need a week or two, yeah. Let's, yeah. I think we would, I don't know, I would say not before the 11th.
I would do
What,
a week before our next meeting.
okay, that would be like
That
the,
gives you a week to, if we change it.
yeah, and then we could come back with edits. That's a great idea.
So our next meeting will be the 26th of May.
So the 19th,
So if we do the 19th.
and then we could do
That gives you a
edits.
week to edit it.
Yeah, and then
I
you guys,
have a conflict on the 19th.
We'll
well,
do it to,
Well, hang on, it depends on what time we do it.
I don't care.
time's your conflict.
Oh, okay, yeah, from 5:30 to 6:30.
I can't be there to take minutes if it's at 7 or later.
On the 19th.
Yeah, I have another DRB meeting.
What about the 20th?
Works for me. That's a Wednesday.
20th works for me.
Jan? How about
It's
you?
fine with me.
Okay.
Yep, that
And
works for
George,
me.
where's-
So what date was that?
The
20th.
20th,
of
it's a
May?
Wednesday.
A Zoom?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check the rules on that. And if we may have to have a physical location.
All right,
I can
I
take
wouldn't
care of
mind
that.
having
Yeah.
a face-to-face. I wouldn't mind having a face-to-face. The 20th is fine with me.
Yeah, we need
Let's see
to
if we can
confirm
use
that this
this.
room's available.
Yeah.
I can I see that?
All right, so yeah, let's say, the 20th at 7:00.
Is that okay with you? Could come
Yeah,
via
yeah, I
Zoom
have-
or
Seven?
Yep.
at 7?
Yeah, I'll be available.
And Warren, good for you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Do we want to talk about the Georgia plan at all?
yeah, I want, and let's, finish our planning here. Yeah, I do want to talk about that.
Calendar.
Time we doing it? 7, you said?
7, and I'll have to confirm. that, we can do it here.
I'm looking at the calendar. For May, it may not be on here. Maybe not everything's on here. You know what? Everything's not on here. They don't have, on the community hall, they don't have like the select board meeting or anything like that.
Mm.
Select
So-
board,
Pardon?
select board's Monday, but I don't know if CIP is on Wednesday.
Oh, sugar. That's.
But I can find
Yeah,
out.
the 20th
You're gonna
is
be
okay.
here in
I'll
the
be here
morning.
tomorrow.
You can
The 20th
verify
is
that.
okay, because that's the 3rd. It's not, isn't it the 4th? It's the 4th Wednesday, it's CIP.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think, yeah. But
Well, I
anyway, it
can-
doesn't say on the calendar.
Yeah. I
It
can
just
find out
has
tomorrow.
like
Okay.
any.
We'll
okay,
confirm.
Okay, got it.
Cool. And then we'll also, I think in addition to like what's gonna happen at the meeting, we'll also need to like put together the invitation and get the mailing set up and stuff. So I think that'll be the first thing that we'll do is start advertising it.
Mhm.
So I can put a draft of that
Yeah,
together.
because you really wouldn't start before then anyway. That'd be way too early.
Yeah, I think we could plan to review those on the 20th, and then if they look good, we can start sending out the mailing and pushing it on the
Front
email
porch.
list and front porch forum and everything. After that, so people know that it's happening.
Okay.
And, the other thing we can do is help speak to kind of the process of that public meeting, what's going to happen. To me, the goal of a public meeting is to garner as much of the feedback from that community that comes. So let's say there's 150 people doing that. It's not just a presentation, it's really giving them an opportunity to react to those 4 questions or whatever the number of questions. So like Georgia's town plan and most town plans, they rotate, they break up the group into maybe 4, depending on how many questions. So 4 different groups, and they rotate, and then they put sticky notes up to their response to each one to the question that they go, and then they rotate to the next one. So at the end of a period of time, like an hour, you've got all this great rich data that you have to take and then summarize somewhere. It's going to be kind of hard to do it at that meeting, but we can do it after. But so what I'm talking about, it's not just the questions and kind of what kind of data we're going to present to them, but the process in which they're going to have an opportunity to engage and talk. I think we should really encourage a very highly interactive one.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree, George. I like the idea of making it so the grouping is smaller and less intimidating, and people can really get into the weeds of what they're thinking. I like that idea to break it down into whatever number of questions that we rotate. I think that's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna need a time frame on some of them questions.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you would have to have
people.
You'd have to have a tight time frame. Yeah, definitely.
No, it'd be a strict, I'm going to guess it'd be 15, 20 minutes per question at the most, wouldn't it? To make it close to an hour when you're done. We shouldn't go too far past an hour.
Yeah.
I would think
and
to
I think
hold interest.
I think it should be primarily like interactive, like a discussion. I think it is important at the beginning to have like a brief presentation on like what is a town plan, like why are we doing this? But then after just to sort of set the stage, but then after that, I think it should be
I'm thinking no more than 15, 20 minutes at the absolute tops.
Yeah,
per
People
question.
can't stand it. You know?
Right, because.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have to have time for ice cream or something.
Whatever.
Something fun.
Yeah.
It's got to be fun for people.
They won't mind that,
Right.
but they won't mind extending it for that extra 15 minutes, I'm sure, for ice cream.
Yeah, this is a good start. I think for the next time we meet on the 20th, we can I'll bring a draft sort of agenda for the meeting, and we can talk about that. And then also the flyer and everything, we can talk about that too.
Perfect.
I think one question I have is, are you going to have any kind of ticklers in or some kind of thing so when people are coming, they have an idea of what their heads are kind of thinking about the town and their thoughts on it rather than coming in pretty cold. So within the Islander or Front Page Forum or something, Front Porch Forum or something, to have something about making them come in with some thoughts.
If we're gonna focus on those 4 questions, and they cover a lot of things, maybe that's part of when we get the word out, that this is the kind of input that we're gonna want.
No, I think that's really good, Jen.
Yeah.
When we can do that.
I think that would be good too. Otherwise, people, first of all, I also think when people have read, and most people are pretty, at least I know the people I know and myself are pretty thrilled with our town and connected to it. And so that will excite them. I think we might get more people too. They're not going to a blind a meeting. It's a meeting that they really feel a part of. So.
Right.
No, I think if we just included those 4 questions in our mailing, that
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think this.
That whole page.
Yeah.
do I remember that the new plan has to have a mission statement and the old
Yeah.
one didn't?
That's correct. Or a
We don't-
vision, a vision.
A vision.
A vision.
'Cause those are usually the hardest ones, so.
Yeah, Andy, you
I
brought
would
that
add a
up.
fifth
Yeah.
question of what's the vision of the town?
Right.
Because that's the one I'm wrestling with. Like, do we want to grow? Do we not want to grow?
Yeah,
No, I
mean,
think
just
that's
to-
important. That's
to
very
back up and like,
provocative.
Is it?
well, that's why we want the public input, yeah.
Yeah.
The big questions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big question.
Yeah, well, I think the vision will kind of come through like all four of these together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you know, what do you like,
What do you
about
think,
life
sir?
in North
Yeah.
Carolina? That'll be like.
we're nowhere near being able to come up with a
Right,
vision
when you get some
statement right
answers
now.
for them, then you're gonna
Yeah.
know.
Right,
Mhm.
What to
Like, these
put
are the
for
things
our-
people
yeah,
like,
ahead
these are
of our
the things
vision.
they
Yep.
want for
Right.
the future, and then
Right.
this is the vision, so.
It probably doesn't matter. The one thing that's missing in those, if we did want to grow, then the question would be what would we have to do to attract, what's missing for the people who might potentially
Yeah.
move here? So,
Mhm.
It's not about you, it's about
Mhm.
potential.
Right,
If we don't want to grow, then that doesn't matter.
overwhelming thought of the people. They like it the way it is, and don't want to see it change. I can see a lot of people
I can see that a
saying
lot.
that.
Or the opposite, if
Yeah.
you want more people working out of their houses, you need really good, high quality, affordable
Yeah.
internet.
oh, you
And
mean
if-
the stuff that
If
doesn't
you
drop
don't
or
want those
fall?
people, then
Wow.
have terrible internet and.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right, good start. So somebody mentioned the Georgia Town Plan, which we had the link on the agenda. I don't know how many people had a chance to look at it. I went through it. Pretty impressive. My first thought is there's way too much information there. I mean, I like the way it's set up.
Mhm.
Oh, my God, I just,
Like in depth again
Yeah.
today. And also I was looking at our North Hero Town Plan from 2020. A lot of what we have in this 2020 plan, it was covered.
Yeah.
What the topics, but there were some additional parts to
Yeah.
it, like other maps and some data.
I like the maps,
Uh-huh.
the way those were
Right,
presented,
right.
and
So
I
I
would love
think-
to do something similar to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like formatting and everything, I think we can definitely take some aspects from the Georgia plan, because your current plan, there's basically no formatting.
No.
Right,
no, it's
right,
just a
yeah.
word
No, I-
doc.
Yeah,
I
so,
like the way that's laid out. I
Yeah.
just think there's
It
too
was
much
easier to
there, but,
read,
yeah,
easier to read.
yeah.
mhm.
And then if you look at the appendix, did you look
Yeah,
at,
yeah, I read that, yeah.
that's got every comment that every person ever made.
Thorough is one,
Yeah.
Very thorough.
I thought that was a bit overdone.
yeah.
But one interesting thing about that is, Georgia has a population of close to 5,000 people.
I can't believe that.
But it was like 400 and some odd that actually responded, so
Yeah,
it was
that-
less than 10%. And so
It was a pretty good percentage, yeah.
well,
I
it's
mean,
10%.
Well, yeah, 10% is, in my world,
Yeah, I
is a good
understand.
number. So, but we need more, we need,
That's,
more
I'd
than
love to see
90.
more than.
90 is the minimum,
You, yeah.
a minimum. We have to get more than that,
Oh, yeah.
so.
We'll never get 90, but we'll hopefully get more.
You'll probably get 10%.
That would be 90.
Yeah, with all our best efforts.
No, we will get, we will
Yeah, I
do
think we
better.
can do better than
We can-
10%.
Their survey was quite long and
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah,
in my world, 10 minutes and more than that unless you're paying
yeah,
people
yeah.
or
Okay.
giving them huge prizes that are worth a couple thousand bucks.
Yeah, we usually try to keep our survey, like if it's a paper survey, just the front and the back.
Yeah, oh, well, that's, yeah,
Or
Yeah.
like if it's an
Yeah.
online survey.
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
it can't be that long.
Yeah,
Okay,
I thought it was long, but it was interesting what the responses were. It wasn't what I expected.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I think we may get similar responses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
Yeah.
I thought it would help influence how we do the questions.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. I guess that's it for the town plan for tonight. Much more to come, obviously. So I guess, Luke, we're all set. Appreciate your time and
Yeah, of
we'll
course.
see you again soon.
Thank you. So Jeff and I'll circle back.
Okay, great.
Thank you for.
All right.
Yeah.
So moving on, the only really other item we've got tonight is the ZA report, which is pretty,
It was
Pretty small.
pretty small.
Yeah.
Although my neighbor has some pretty big plans, but it's
Yeah.
pretty
Who's
small,
that?
Paul Yandel.
Yeah, so I issued two DRB decisions from the February meeting. And then I had two building permits for one person. Those were basically held up due to some DRB issues that he had had before, but so he got two building permits there. And then one permit for the LCI EDC right next door, to the other side of Kramer and Kin, for just some new signs. I guess there's a new business going in there. I can't remember what it is. Bye, Luke.
See you, Luke.
And that's it. I have one ongoing zoning complaint that I've been working on and hope to have that figured out by the time I have my April report. And April's gonna be a lot more exciting because it's been a lot busier than
Yeah.
March, so.
Okay, so any questions or comments on the?
I have just,
Surprised-
go ahead.
Go ahead, George.
Go ahead, George.
I have a question for Danielle on the Yando application. So that's a focus on a subdivision of what, 4 lots? Or 3 lots? 4 lots?
Yeah.
Well, 5.
Or,
4, okay.
Well, 5
Now-
total. There's one big one that he's not planning to do anything.
Right,
with.
that
was-
4 for
And
immediate development.
What I couldn't understand when I looked at the proposal, they sit behind those houses on what
Mhm.
street is that, Andy?
South End
South
Road.
End.
Yes. Do those properties have access to the lake?
They could. Paul owns a bunch of Lakeshore, and he has some summer renters, and he allows them to use the beach. That would be up to Paul, whether he wants to give beach rights to those people back there. I don't know if he's planning to or not. I mean, it would make the houses more desirable if they did have lake
Yeah,
access rights.
Yeah, I couldn't tell that on that proposal.
But
whether or not-
he probably owns 400 feet of lakefront there.
Okay,
So there's plenty of room.
Yeah, that kind of detail wasn't on there just because
Yeah.
it was just a subdivision. I know that he had some like potential housing, spots on the map, but that was because it was just a subdivision. He wasn't getting that far into detail with, what was gonna happen to it after it was subdivided.
okay, good.
So these properties haven't been sold yet?
No, he
No,
still
he's just
has,
subdividing.
he hasn't even been approved for subdivision. He got approved for his sketch plan. He's
Oh.
coming back in May to get the final approval for that 4-lot subdivision.
But he's doing everything by the book. He has
Yeah.
a, well-qualified engineer working on
Yeah.
it, so.
And he's a builder. He knows.
And he's a
what
builder,
doing.
right, yeah. Okay, moving on, not a lot more, just, quickly, what we had included comments on Act 181, and I don't know if you had a chance to, go through that. We had several municipalities within our region that had huge issues with Act 181.
Yeah, I read
And then
those.
the Regional Planning Commission last week sent a letter to the state stating their position. And it really boils down to, I think, 2 things, the what they call the road rule and the Tier 3 designation.
Mhm.
And without getting into a lot of detail, those seem to be the issues that were prevalent.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of activity in Montpelier, and it might even have changed as of today. But it looked like there was a pretty good movement to, make those revisions to Act 181. So I just sent that out to keep everybody in the loop. Probably have better
I
information.
thought that was really helpful. And I think, do you know if our select board has talked about it and whether or not they're going to respond? No. Okay.
Oh, and it's probably too late now because they're getting close.
Yeah, it's
to the end of
already-
the session. But the Regional Planning Commission, they were here and presenting that, the maps and everything showing Tier 3 designations. So the select board has been exposed to that. There was nothing that jumped out to me at the time that indicated there'd be a big impact in North Hero.
Right.
The village is our designated growth area, but I think we all know that there's probably not going to be a lot of growth here in the village over the years because
Yeah.
a lot of constructions, so. But anyway, so just wanted to keep you folks in the loop on that. The only other thing I had under announcements, just if anybody that hasn't, done the open meeting law training yet, there's a session tomorrow evening.
Thursday, isn't it?
Yes.
Thursday, I'm sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
Thursday.
I took it
I have
online.
nothing else. Yep. Okay, yep, that's great.
Did you pass, Jim?
You
I
need
don't
a
know
score of
if you agree.
75 to pass. Okay. All right, anybody else have anything? Okay. Just, look for that last motion.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thanks, everybody. Good
Aye.
meeting.
Righty.
Why, thank you.
Bye.
See you guys.
Guys.
See ya.
See you next meeting.
Yeah.